Yes. People, what's going on? It's the Kitty G on Eagle Talks Football. We're back again with another video. I got my guy Gunnar Souls in the building. We got my guy Gunnar Lee in the house. It's been a long time since Gunnar Lee's been around. And we got my guy Dawood in the building. And guys, make sure you do support the guys. All their links to their channels are down below. Even you, Gunnar Souls. I know you don't run your own channel too much, but we got your link in there too. But yeah, people, what we're gonna do for the next hour and how so minutes that we talk here, we're gonna talk about Mikel Arteta and the process. It's finally looking like it's working to full effect, and it's great to see. We're gonna also talk about Gabriel Jesus' return, and if you guys haven't seen the documentary, it's coming out soon. Gabriel Jesus' documentary is coming out soon. We're also gonna talk about Arsenal versus Sporting. Just kind of give ourselves what we think about that game going into it, and wherever else we end up, we'll discuss. But for now, I hope everyone's doing well. As you guys roll in, make sure you do hit that like button, and if you're watching on the playback, make sure you hit that like button also. Let us know what you guys think about the content. But yeah, Gunnar Souls, what are you saying, bro?
Yeah, I'm good. This is the Eagle Talks Football takeover. It's me. I've got full control, so you can't bully me today, lads. You can't bully me. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, I can't wait for this one. Let's go.
Let's get it. What about you, Gunnar Lee, man? I see you doing big things right now, bro. You're all over AFTV. You're everywhere.
Yeah, man. Listen, trying to kind of keep growing, man. It's not been too bad for me recently. Listen, and it's not been too bad for the team as well. So life is actually really, really good, man, overall. And listen, you know what? Earlier on, you said it's been too long. I've been on your channel, so I see you doing big things. Numbers are up. Everything's looking good, and we're here, man. We're top.
We're here. We're doing it. And big up Dawood in the building. Came over from TikTok. He's starting to do his YouTube thing. He's going to be streaming every single day up until the season's over. That's going to be difficult, but I hope you can do it.
Yeah. Not streaming every single day. Probably streaming 3-4 days, but uploading every single day. So hopefully content for everyone. But yeah, trying to get into this YouTube kind of platform, see how it goes. TikTok's good, but YouTube's a bigger platform. So hopefully I can dip into that.
Okay, fair enough. So yeah, let's get started. People, anybody has questions in the comment section, please do submit your questions. But first things first, guys, we got to start. The Arsenal boys went 4 for 4 in the London Arsenal or the London Awards. Should we say the London Awards or should we call them the Arsenal Awards? Because all 4 awards went to Arsenal players. We had Mikel Arteta win an award, Ramsdale win an award, Odegaard win Player of the Year, and Bukayo Saka win Young Player of the Year. And in that awards show, we had Edu come out with a quote, and I feel like that quote is, oh man, sorry, somebody just called me in the middle of this stream. My bad, guys. But yeah, in the middle of this thing, we had a situation where Edu said something across the lines where he was making a joke about how the process is working, and now everyone's finally seeing the process is working. His exact words were, when we started, people sometimes make jokes about the process, but I think we are quite clear with all the steps, and we knew we would go through some challenging periods, but the important part is that we are together in terms of understanding the process.
You know what, right? You know what? I want to jump in this real quick because I feel very strongly about this. And first of all, look, I want to be honest, and I don't have to be. I actually wasn't as enthused with Arteta in his first full season. It got to December, and I think he had lost to Wolves at home. We lost to Burnley and Everton at home 3 games in a row. And I was like, listen, it's not good enough. You need to go now, man. I believed in him, but I just thought maybe the job was too big for him. And from where he's come from, all that he's faced, remember the famous quote where he said that this project's going to bang? You know, the issue that, the thing he said to Willian about 2023 will be in the Champions League. You know, the signings that we made in the first season, getting like the likes of Louise, you know, the fact that we got Willian, as I said, Cedric and all of these players, and then, you know, we had to face the vitriol of someone like Ben White coming in and him getting like bantered, Ramsdale obviously winning the FA Cup as well. I forgot about that. He's totally been mocked because he's got hair that is perfectly shaped. You then think about like the fact that people kept mentioning that, oh, he's Pep's homeboy, to now everything coming full circle this season. You know, everything was looking good nice season. I go to games. I know you go to games and go and listen. I'm sure Susan. I know obviously you're not in London, so it's a little bit more difficult for you. But listen, we all go to games, man. We all go to games, and the turnaround. You think about the connectivity that he's had between the fans and the owners. Listen, everyone was Kroenke out, sorry. And now look, we don't even whisper those words currently. So I think there's so much that's come. And then you think about the biggest part of it is the whole documentary. How did he look in that? The whole thing that he got mocked because of the light bulb. And he got mocked because he played the music at the Liverpool for Liverpool in the training ground. And I mean, honestly, man, this guy, like, it's sensational what he's done. And I think just to end, the fact that he got the London, Best Managers Award, it's not enough. Like, he needs to get everything that comes his way because he more than deserves it, man. He more than deserves it. The things that he's done for this team, for this club, make us believe in people like Ramsdale, brought through the likes of Saka to another level, brought in Jesus, and that is, everybody needs to know, that is because of only one person, Arteta. Zinchenko, only one person, Arteta. And I think we were worried about the likes of Pepe because we thought that he was mistreated. I did 100%. The issue with Xhaka, he turned that around full circle, and I wanted him out because of what he did with the armband. That was my main thing with the armband. And I think, you look at it now, and everything he's saying is coming true. It's almost like he's a prophet, and I don't like to disrespect, religions, because a prophet is such a sacred and important thing. But I mean, as in, like, the prophecy of what he says, it coming to fruition and coming true. Listen, man, I can't talk. And guys, again, I don't mean to. I don't want it to seem blasphemous. I don't want it to seem like I've disrespected any prophet or religions, because that's not what I'm trying to do. But I'm just saying, like, in terms of what he's said and how it's come true, and everything he touches turns to gold. So, yeah,
you manifested it. That's what you mean.
No,
yeah.
You know what it is, though. More than that, the man's been in the trenches. Talk about a war. Talk about being war ready, battle ready. To go against this Man City team, firstly, deserves huge credit, because this team was accumulating 90 plus points. And guess what they go and do? They go and get the finisher of this generation, the gunman of this generation. They were scoring goals for fun without a striker. And guess what striker they go by? The guy that can get them 50 goals a season. And this Arsenal team, and look, narratives are there to be rewritten. But guess what? We got a reject in Gabriel Jesus. We got a reject in Zinchenko. We got our plan Bs. And guess what our plan Bs are doing? They're going to win us the league.
Yeah.
Not only did we clean sweep in the men's, Arsenal women's were doing it as well. Leah Williamson won, I think it was something I can't remember what exactly the award was, but she won as well. And this is what we're seeing now. They're even competing for the league in the women's side. So we're not just seeing one fraction of this, of Arsenal as a business succeed. You're seeing the success throughout this. And this is one thing that we don't talk about enough. This is the culture change that Arteta talked about. He came in and he said, there's snakes, there's rats, there's two-faced people, and I'm going to get them gone.
He said he's going to wean them out. He's going to wean them out. And listen, I think this isn't all on the likes of Arteta, but just to add on to your point about the connectivity, Sauls, you look at the revamp of the stadium. You look at the revamp, and listen, if you go to the stadium and you see, I drive past it, I walk past it every single day. I go to the AFTV studios, and honestly, it is a thing of beauty. It is absolutely, and I don't actually now want Arsenal to, I know there's been talks about increasing the stadium capacity. I don't want the stadium to be touched now, and and Arsenal need a bigger capacity, but I don't want it. It's just perfect. It is absolutely beautiful. And
I have to go see it on Thursday.
Oh man, you know what? You're going at night because we're playing it at a night game, bro. It's beautiful, man. It is absolutely beautiful.
I have to see it during the day. Even better at night.
Yeah, it's even better at night because the way it's lit up, it just but listen, you know, I don't want to say too much. You know why? Because I want you to experience for yourself, man. I don't want to, I don't like taking people's like experience.
You know what? We need to let the people in the chat, guys. Are you with us? We got like 15 of you guys in the chat. Make sure you let us know you're here. Leave a comment down below in the comment section. Dawood, also you're with us. Talk to me, bro. How you feeling about the process? Because if I'm not mistaken, when everybody and their mom was ready to flip, you were one of the people who stood strong.
Yeah,
and
I remember. Yeah,
strong. You were making promises.
Yeah. So that video I told I was on the football terrace and I said when we were losing, finishing 8th, I said there's a chance. I don't know if is a 5% chance, 10% chance we can win the league in the next 2 years because I see this project. I see this man doing something special. And then everyone's saying, get him out, get Conte, get Luis Enrique, get so many managers. I said, no, let's stick with him because you can't win the title and you can't see a progression in 1 or 2 years. It has to be within 3, 4, 5 year period. Look at Tottenham Hotspur. They try to get a quick fix in Antonio Conte. They try to find someone that could win them a trophy, but they completely forgot about a long-term project. They started signing players that I lost my mind, man. Like Ivan Perisic, 31, 32, 33 years old. What are they going to get you? They're going to give you 1 or 2 year period where they're going to play decent, half decent. After that, it's going to cost too much mess in the dressing room. So Arsenal thought, forget going through that route. We've done that before. We've signed 28-plus-year-olds. Let's go with the youth. And it's imagine it. We've got the youngest team in the Premier League, and if this team wins the Premier League, people think that this is our only chance of winning the Premier League this year. Come on, with this team, if they sit together and we improve, we get 2, 3, 4 more players in the summer. Look at the points we're accumulating now. We've got 11 clean sheets in 14 away Premier League games. That is, with the age of 23, 24, average age of these players.
Bro, they're novice defenders.
I'm just like, we've got youth on our side. Our manager's young. Our players are young. Like, we've got so much talent in our team. And if we just get experienced players in the Champions League, I'm just like so happy. I haven't stopped smiling like since the start of the Premier League. And then we deserve this. As Arsenal fans, we deserve it of how much struggle, how much pain, how much heartbreak we've gone through in the past 10 years. False promises. Ivan Gazidis saying when we move to the Emirates Stadium, we're going to compete with a team like Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, Barcelona. Fake promises. And then we've stuck with this team and now we're seeing it. And I'm so happy. I've only been to 2 Arsenal games this season and both been away games. I haven't been to the Emirates this season yet. I need to go to the Emirates this season. It doesn't matter if it's, I'm lost for words. And if we will somehow win the title, that's going to be like unimaginable.
You know what? We're going to get into that right now. We're going to get into that. We got a comment here saying we're going to win the effing league, guys. No one can stop us. You know what? Not yet. What's good, y'all? We're good, Mo. What are you saying, Mo? Let me know how you guys are doing. We got Wisner in the house saying, Iga, we need a true number 9, man. You know what? Come on. What are you talking about? Which team has actually won the Premier League in the last 5 years with the actual number 9?
You know what, right? I don't know if this guy is how old he is, and I don't like to do the whole thing with people in comments, but someone said something to me today, and I totally believe it. Like, if anybody has something to moan about as an Arsenal fan this season, you're doing it for views. You can't moan about anything this season, man. Like losing points to the likes of Everton, dropping points to the likes of Brentford. Sorry, we can't moan, man. There's so many good things to come out of this season. Man. It's just I don't know, man. I can't.
I remember the turmoil as soon as we dropped points against Brentford, we lost against Everton. People were saying that we're gonna collapse. It's over. We're not gonna fit. There's no way we're gonna. People go through blips. We were perfect all season, and then we go through a 2-3 game period. We don't win games, or we don't. And then it's like I asked the fan base when I saw on Twitter, and everyone's saying it's finished. We're not going to see. I've won it now, and it's like we can't go through. We have to be perfect all season. That's impossible. No team can do that.
No, but you know what it was though? We were unfortunate to have our blip, like consecutive blip. Whereas with what City would do, they'll still have this sort of record where they'll have the same number of wins and same number of losses with draws, but it'll be stretched throughout the season, so it doesn't look bad. But we've just happened, and don't forget, before Everton, we didn't lose a game in the league from September. Man, it's crazy how long it took us to lose a game. And like the amount of records, like amount of consecutive wins we're putting together in the league, we're the only team to consecutively put wins together more than 3. Man City are yet to do that this season. I think they've only just done it. So the narratives that we have, that when we drop points, it's like we're going to crumble. Man City have shown crumbling more this season. And the thing is, it's this PTSD thing. Oh, but look at Man City of the past. Look at Man City of the recent season. This isn't the same Man City. Look, whether people are going to look at today's game and go, you know what, how can you say it's a transition? In the league, they're transitioning because what their team is made to do is win these cups. It's made to win the Champions League. It's made primed to win an FA Cup if they want to. And they're not primed yet to win the league. And that's the difference. They've not shown the consistency that's required. If, let's say, Arsenal continue this for the latter stages of the season, we're going to be totaling 90 plus points, and Man City don't look to be doing that right now. So it's just the narrative difference is mad.
Let me just stop. Everybody in the chat, let me know. Do we really need another number 9? Like, do we need more goals?
We need a plan B. Yeah.
Like, I feel like the last thing we need right now is more goals in this team. We have so much goals in this team, guys. Look at this. Only PSG are the only other team that have 3 players in the league, in top 10 leagues, that have more than 10 goals. Like, Goodally, am I tripping? Do we need more goals or do we need midfielders? I would rather we go drop that money on a midfielder. Everyone complaining about strikers. Stop complaining about strikers. If we get our midfield sorted, you will see Eddie and Nketiah even bagging goals on a regular basis. We don't need to worry.
For me, look, like everyone's going to have their opinions, and I do genuinely think that there's some validity to the fact that, I guess, there's some validity to the fact that you need to have some variety in that number 9 role. But I just think that it's out of sight, out of mind. And when we saw Fulham again, and we saw Gabriel Jesus come on the pitch the other day, it all came back. And I think the fact that we've got Trossard, and I think the fact that we've got Nketiah as well, and Balogun, I think there's going to be some real, effects that is going to come forward in this team. And for me, look, I can't say that I'm going to agree with people with this whole number 9 role. I do think that the whole midfield, it really is going to stem from there, because the defense, we know it looks solid. I think we also got Charlie Patino to come back, and I'm really, really enthused by what he's doing on loan. But I just think that if the Fabio Vieira needs to come back in and he can play false number 9, I think there's been rumours that like ESR is going to play in the forward role for the next couple of seasons, or in the front 3 somewhere. So look, we have real options, man. We have some real good options, and I just think that people are too fixated on the whole number 9 having like a big target man like Haaland. And you think about it, the most important position in the Man City team and the Liverpool team over the last couple of seasons, why they've got all those goals, the person to create space has been that false number 9 role. So it's not always about having a fixated number 9.
Yeah.
You know what? Talking about Gabriel Jesus, have you guys seen Gabriel Jesus is back and he's hungry and he's got a documentary? Like, I don't know about you guys, but I'm gassed to see that we got another documentary coming through, because maybe they'll get to see the whole league title. They'll see the rigorous return from injury, because I don't know if you guys know, that was a brutal return from his injury. He came back quite quick, to be fair. What is that? 3 months he came back from his injury in December. Like, what are you saying, Dawood? Are you excited to see the documentary, and how excited are you to have Gabriel Jesus back in this Arsenal team?
Right now, if you told me a couple of weeks ago, I would have said we needed him badly. But for me, this is me being very picky when it's. I'm happy to have him back. I'm happy to see him in the team. But after the other days performed by Trossard, Martinelli, Saka, I'm thinking, how long is it going to take him to get back into squad? Because if the way Trossard performed, the way Martinelli performed, him, I want him to play. I want Jesus to play on Thursday in the Europa League, get his minutes back up, start scoring again. Because we can't forget he was struggling to score. He went 11 games without scoring before he got injured. So he needs to start scoring again and start fighting back for his position. We can't just put him back in the starting 11 without really deserving it. But I can't wait for that documentary because this guy's an animal. How can you come back after 3 months? Some players will be out for the rest of the season with their mentality. His mentality is beyond exceptional. That's the reason why. That's the reason why he lasted so long at Man City without being a clinical number 9. It's because that work ethic that he has, that willingness to play in any position. This Gabriel Jesus, when the documentary comes out, a lot of people understand why he's an elite mentality monster. And yeah, to have him back in the team, just to give that team an extra boost, and the squad depth that we have now on the bench, it's going to be unreal. Especially in the last part of the season where it's going to be Europa League, Premier League, Europa League, Premier League, and the Europa League is going to get tougher with a lot of tougher teams now in the Europa League, and the Premier League is going to be teams are going to sit back. So we need him in the box, that creativity to get past play or two, to create chances. So yeah, it's going to be a big boost having him back in the team.
110%. Gutter Souls, what are you saying, bro? Gabriel Jesus is back. Mikel Arteta's process is starting to work even better than before. Everything seems to be going the right way. Surely it's our year.
You know what? Yeah, I mean, the thing is, everyone writ our season off as soon as Gabriel Jesus got injured. I don't think people... I think when he got injured, we were 8-point clear. And now, when presumably he's back, we're still 5 points clear. So we've only literally dropped 3 points in the absence of Jesus.
We gotta go answer this question right here. Do you agree with this comment, guys? He's saying, as a Gooner, I don't know whether we'll actually win the league because of the away games. I don't know about you guys, but I'm a lot more confident than Windsor here.
Yeah. I'm more confident away from home. The funny thing, I'm more confident away from home than at home. Because at home, we leak so many goals. There's amount of times we've won 2-1, 3-2, 4-3. Away from home, we somehow are able to win 1-0 away from home. There's that exception we had the Aston Villa game where it was crazy. But I can't really think of another away game where we conceded more than 2 goals.
But you know what it is, though? Even despite that, I think what people are forgetting is our depth now, the options we have now. Yeah. You know, ESR's back. You know, you've got, for example, Jesus is back. You've got Fabio Vieira who can come off the bench. You've got Reiss Nelson back as well, who we saw, you know, without him, we wouldn't have won against Bournemouth. So I feel like people are forgetting, even if you now take some of our starting 11s, like it's in Trossard, Martinelli, Saka, as your bench options, you know, or rotate them in certain games, they can come off the bench. So the depth now, and it's not even just depth, it's the option of depth that we have. For example, you can have, you know, your sort of focal 9 in Eddie Nketiah. You can have your false 9. You can have even a Martinelli as a focal 9. But then you can pair him with a Trossard who can drop in deeper, do the dirty work, do the wing work, you know, with a Bukayo Saka. But then you can bring Reiss Nelson into that. If you want, you can actually play all technical front threes now. You can have Trossard, Jesus, Saka, which is going to be a techie front three. Don't get it twisted. I'm not saying Martinelli doesn't have tech, but he's a bit more raw. He's a bit more kind of you don't really know what he's going to do. Whereas with Trossard, Saka, your Jesus, they're a lot neater with it. They're cleaner with the ball. And that's the difference. And also, Jorginho, for example, as well. You know, if Partey needs a rest or rotate, you can do that. You know, we're now starting to see Xhaka's role isn't necessarily Granit Xhaka anymore. It's Fabio Vieira, it's ESR, Odegaard can have Vieira come in there. You know, you've got Kieran Tierney, who has now been developing that sort of inverted role. And to be fair, I think he's doing it fine. Obviously, Zinchenko takes it to another level. But you've got, you know, for example, even when you've got Tomiyasu, who's now fully back as well, who can play centre-back, left-back, and right-back. And I'll be honest with you, Matt Turner surprised me. I don't think he's terrible. Obviously, I don't want him starting every game, but you know, if worse comes to worse, I'm going to be like, you know what, it's cool, 1 or 2 games rotations and that, cool. Play him in the Europa League. Now what we've got is we're in a situation where we can play however we want to. We can play the scenarios. We can start with plan A, and we've got a variety of plan Bs, and that's the beautiful thing about it. And also, when we do play, we don't really play like a normal team. We've got this is what people don't get. We've got so many different ways we attack and defend that you've got plan Bs within your plan A setup. And it's crazy. And this is why I say, like, we're set to win the Champions League in the next coming years. Because when you look at certain teams, there's a reason to it. When you look at certain teams, right, who win the Champions League, look at Real Madrid. When they were down and out against Man City, what did they do? People don't realize it. They tweak their setup. They don't change it. They don't have to bring a player on to make an impact. What Carlo Ancelotti did, he made Valverde play a different role. He made Modric slightly more advanced, and that over pressured them, and they didn't know what to do with it. Obviously, you have to have your moment players, but you can now start to see Arteta's tweaking his system and not overcomplicating it. And that's what I think we're gonna be fine. And I've always said it, he needs his players and he needs his depth. Once he has that in combination with everything, I'm telling you, what he's gonna do is unbelievable.
Okay, so just so I'm clear, you're basically saying, little do people know, we're not here to participate, we're here to win it.
What, the Champions League or
the Champions League?
Oh, mate, I don't think people are ready. I'm not joking. I don't think people are ready for what they're gonna see. They're thinking, you know what the problem is, right? People are seeing, even with the league run, people are going, yeah, but Arsenal of old. We ain't the Arsenal of old. This is completely different. I'm not even like, just wait, guys, because I've said this about this Arteta process, and you'll be proven wrong when the Champions League kicks off. Look at it today, bro. Do you think we can't do that to RB Leipzig? Bro, we can toy with them, man, as well. We can play toe-to-toe. Do you not think we can beat an AC Milan? Do you not think we can beat an Inter Milan? Do you not think we can now take on a Bayern Munich? I am more than confident, as long as the process continues the way it is, as in we continue to show ambition in the windows, as long as, what Arteta has always said is continually happening, I don't see why we can't compete for the Champions League.
My man's saying we're going for the double. I'm saying we go for the double this year. Yo, Gunnar Lee, I'm not sure if you're still with us, but let me know. Yeah. But when it comes to people in the chat, let me know what you guys are saying, people. Also, we got 33 of you guys in the chat. Make sure you hit that like button. And right now, in the comments, let me know. Let me know. Do you think we can do it? Do you think if we were in the Champions League this season, we would be competitive? Because let me know. If you think we're going to be competitive, say competitive. If you think we're going to get knocked out, just say knocked out. Fair enough. But what are you saying, bro? Do you agree with Gunnar Souls? If we're in the Champions League this year, you think we'd be competitive?
No, not this year. I said, obviously, we're going to have that window of Declan Rice and, the likes. And that's when I think we can.
Yeah.
Okay, so next year. I honestly do agree. I agree. What are you saying?
The other thing that I really like about Mikel Arteta is, I think in one press conference, one of the journalists said to him that, are you worried about the amount of games Bukayo Saka is playing, the amount of games Martinelli is playing? And he's saying, absolutely not. If these players want to be at the highest level, they should be able to play 50, 55 games a season. And it's something that I believe Arteta will probably try to go for the Europa League and the Premier League as well, because look at Bukayo Saka in the first leg against Sporting Lisbon. The guy played the whole game. Martinelli played the whole game. He's not resting these players from the Premier League. He's testing them to see, have they got the mentality to play on a Thursday and on a Sunday and keep that winning run. Because if we take our foot off the gas in the Europa League, lose that game, and then it'd be hard to get the team back up to win 2 days later. So Arteta's trying to instill this mentality in them where they can play twice a week, every 3 days. And then hopefully that could adapt them. So when we play in the Champions League, playing on a Wednesday, playing on a Saturday, playing on a Sunday, where they're used to playing 50 plus games a season. And it's with Arteta, he knows all of this because of the time he was up with Man City with Pep Guardiola, where he saw these players develop playing that many games a season. People think that Pep Guardiola makes a lot of changes, but if you look at the amount of games these players play, especially squad depth players, they all play 50 plus games. It's because Pep Guardiola he's instilling them that you have to play 2-3 times a week. And if we could do that with our players, with Bukayo Saka, Martinelli, and that's also, you keep them happy as well. And you instill in them that it's not something that you can take lightly. So the Europa League, we should be able to win that. If we have Gabriel Jesus playing that in the Europa League, Eddie Nketiah, Reiss Nelson, and if Reiss Nelson really wants a new contract at Arsenal, he needs to prove it. Because this club, we shouldn't be dishing out new contracts to any Tom, Dick and Harry anymore. Okay? Yeah. I understand him giving a new contract to Mohamed El Neni because he's one of the seniors and he's only here for one more season just to keep the young, to look after the young players. But if Reiss Nelson really wants a new contract, he needs to stay injury-free until the end of the season, and he needs to prove why he deserves to be at Arsenal. Because if he doesn't perform, if he doesn't step up until the end of the season, I think we should let go of him and have a proper right winger to actually compete with Bukayo Saka. Because Bukayo Saka, yes, he's doing really well, but he still needs competition. Pep Guardiola, you'd never see him having the same team, the same starting lineup every single season. He's always buying that extra 1 or 2, 3 players just to compete with the current players that he has. So I believe we still need to buy the right winger because we've got enough left wingers. We've got Trossard that can play there. We've got Martinelli that can play there. We've got who else do we have? We've got Reiss Nelson that can play there. So we've got a lot of players that can play on the left wing, but we really basically got an out-and-out right winger in Bukayo Saka on the right wing. So we need another out-and-out right winger to compete with Saka next season. So he doesn't really he doesn't get too comfortable thinking that, okay, if I have bad performance today, I'm in the squad next week. I'm in the starting lineup next game. He had a poor game against Fulham. Pep Arteta saw that, took him off at the 70th minute. But he needs to, I believe Arteta needs to buy another right winger. But yeah, everything, if we have to go for the Europa League and Premier League this season. And if we sign the right players.
I've got a question on Europa League.
What about Reiss Nelson?
Reiss Nelson. The Europa League talk first. You know, all right, I don't know how to phrase the question, but do we need to win the Europa League to get the European juju off our back?
True.
Oh, yeah. You could say that, but depending on how, if Man City are 2 points behind us in the Premier League, I don't know if we could go for the Europa League and the Premier League. If we win on the weekend, and then win the next weekend because the Man City got FA Cup. If we win, is it this weekend, the last weekend? Yeah.
Bro, really and truly, we can rotate and still get to the final of the Europa League. I really do.
I know, but if look at the performance against Sporting. Look at the midfield of Jorginho.
Look at the attack. Look at the attack against Sporting. That's why.
Yeah.
It wasn't the midfield was poor.
But the gap won't be 3 months between the ties, will it? Because don't forget that's how long it was since we played the last rotated team.
Yeah. Definitely, yeah. Oh, we've also
need fresh legs. They need fresh legs. But big up everyone in the comment section. Justice is saying same thing applies to Emile Smith-Rowe. By the way, guys, I am concerned. If Emile Smith-Rowe cannot stay fit, I really do believe the club might consider selling him.
No, it's the same as Martinelli. No. We were patient. We gave Martinelli a season, by the way, a full season of not playing.
There's no way.
People were looking at selling him too at that time, by the way.
I'm not saying free Smith-Rowe because he's not on the bench because of his poor performances. He's or for no reason. He's on the bench because he hasn't been able to be fit. But the reality is, when we talk about Emile Smith-Rowe, Reiss Nelson, Eddie Nketiah, at this moment in time, these 3 guys have a part to play in this season, but the project might get past them if they don't keep up. They need to keep up with us because we're moving at a pace where only the top of the top can stick with us. Rob Holding, you're gone. Some of you guys, you're going to get left behind. I'm not saying we're going to leave back Emile Smith-Rowe, but the reality is everybody's ready to ditch Eddie Nketiah, but he's done more this season for us than Emile Smith-Rowe has.
Yeah, but...
No, but Smith-Rowe is a better talent than Nketiah, though.
But I'm not disputing that. But availability is the best ability. And if Reiss Nelson and Eddie Nketiah are always available and Emile Smith-Rowe is still not fully healed and continues to go down this route
his injury is what now that's now been prevented. Look at Steven Gerrard. Steven Gerrard had the exact same thing at the exact same age. Same surgery and same recovery time. Imagine Liverpool getting rid of Steven Gerrard at that time, just giving up on him. I'm not saying, he may have a decorated career. He might have more of a decorated career, but the thing is, you can't just give up because a player's gone through a major. Imagine we gave up on Martinelli. I'm talking fan base. I'm not talking to you. I'm just saying the fan base who are looking to get rid of these players just because of a few injuries. Martinelli would have been gone. Would we have the season we're having now? So we've got to be patient sometimes. We are now in a position where we can be to a certain level of a talent. And to me, ESR fits that talent bracket.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what?
Yeah.
ESR is still one of our best goal scorers last season, but we haven't been able to see it this season. Hence why you kind of forget his importance to what we this whole rebuild. But I seen the document I seen the report from a couple of weeks ago before, what game was it? It was before the Aston Villa game where they were saying Emile Smith-Rowe's future is at risk.
Wow, no.
Could Emile Smith-Rowe be sold?
They said that about Martinelli though. I'm not. They'll say it because it's an easy story to cook up.
Smith-Rowe's done enough to have a season where he's struggling with injury, because last season the way him and Bukayo Saka carried us last season, it's him and Saka, they've done enough to have a season where they could get injured, and it's not like he's been in bad form and he's preventing because he's got an injury. Yeah, he's supposed to have that groin injury. Why? He's had that groin problem for a long time. So that surgery now, hopefully that groin injury is completely done. He won't have any more groin injuries, hopefully. So give him time. I think after the international break, he's gonna have that period where he's over them niggles. That groin injury hopefully is finished, and then he can fight for that left-sided centre mid where Xhaka plays. Because I don't think he's going to be number 10, Odegaard and Fabio Vieira. I don't think he's going to be a number 10. He can't play on the right wing. He can play on the left wing and the left-sided centre mid. But left wing right now, Martinelli and Trossard are doing really well on the left side. So left side mid was Xhaka. Xhaka hasn't scored in 2023, but no one actually mentions that. Because
what do you mean he scored an own goal last week?
Own goal?
The own goal. He basically shot it. It was his shot that counted towards the own
goal.
No,
but come on, man. I'm talking about like a proper goal. He hasn't scored a proper goal in 2023, and that chance where Trossard set him up, and he had that.
Oh, he should have scored that.
Smith-Rowe. I remember last season he scored.
He buries it. That's what I'm saying.
Buries it. Yeah.
I've said it. Maybe now Trossard is. But I said it before Trossard came out. ESR is undisputed the best finisher at the club.
Everyone in the chat right now, ESR, let me know if he gets injured again and he doesn't have a big part of the season. Do you think there's any chance that we sell him in the summer? I say there's a 20% chance we sell him. Let me know what percentage you think. I think there's a 20% chance we sell him. I really do believe there is a chance we sell him. I'm not saying sell him. Don't get me mistaken. I love ESR. He started the rebuild. I was sitting here distraught a couple of weeks ago when I heard the report. But I've now understand that we are at a situation where people, if you can't keep up, you're getting left behind. And the reality is Mikel Arteta is ruthless. We're going to talk about Tierney and these other guys. But everyone here is ready to bin off Eddie Nketiah and Reiss Nelson. The reality is, if ESR cannot stay fit, he's also on the chopping block.
Yeah, but don't forget, ESR is not a reoccurring thing, though. It's a surgery that needed to happen. Same with Jesus. Like, once his surgery is done and he's rehabilitated, it's not going to be a reoccurring thing. But anyways, yeah, I think we've spoken on it.
So everyone's keeping Reiss Nelson, right? I mean, and Eddie Nketiah also.
Nah, Reiss Nelson still has. He hasn't done enough yet.
He's still got a point to bring.
Yeah.
I think Sporting, I'm not gonna lie, he was a bit meaty, you know. It was like, this is why I didn't want to keep you.
So, Igal, you'd rather keep Reiss Nelson than Emile Smith-Rowe?
No, I'm saying availability is the best ability, and
Reiss Nelson's availability hasn't been that good.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, based on this season, they're making decisions.
You're talking about a guy that's pretty much started the whole of last season and now he's injured, to a Reiss Nelson who's barely played and got injured.
Listen,
come on, man.
Realistically, Emile Smith-Rowe is not getting sold. I know this. Emile Smith-Rowe is not on the chopping block too much. I'm just saying, hypothetically, if he still continued to be injured, then there would be an issue. Right now, the reality is Reiss Nelson is going to make himself a cult hero if we win this Premier League. I would personally give him a contract just so we can sell him, and we have because losing him on a free to Brighton, this guy could be a baller for Brighton. Look at Danny Welbeck. He's still balling. I think Reiss Nelson at Brighton could be a problem for many teams in the Premier League. We need to make sure we just tie him down to a small contract so we can sell him. That's my thing on Reiss Nelson. Emile Smith-Rowe, he's not going nowhere. I was just strictly bringing up the valid point that there was rumors coming out about him. Okay?
Yeah, but I was going to say, one guy that might actually get sold I know it might be a bit thingy. I was gonna say
Danny Welbeck is balling. Have you guys not seen Danny Welbeck? What are you talking about, bro? Is Danny Welbeck not balling at Brighton?
Yeah, he's doing well.
When he's available, yeah.
Bro, the man did a dink over Van Dijk at Liverpool. What are we talking about?
That was a good goal. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, but yeah, I was gonna say one guy that might actually get sold in the summer is Eddie Nketiah. He's third choice now for Arsenal because you got Jesus coming back, and you got Trossard. And he's not going to be third choice for Arsenal.
Eddie, who are you keeping? Eddie or Balogun?
Balogun.
You know what?
Eddie, Jesus are similar type of players. They're good hold-up players. They're good at link-up, but they can't run in. They're both not in the channels. Balogun is something different. Where if we're playing a low block, again, a good team that's going to play high line against us, Balogun can run in behind. Eddie hasn't got that kind of pace, lightning pace like Balogun.
You want to know the truth? The reality lies somewhere in the middle. I think preseason, you give Eddie Nketiah and Balogun a run in preseason. You see who can mesh with who, and the person lowest on the pecking order from them two gets sold. And in my opinion, right now, Balogun is still behind Eddie Nketiah. He has a higher potential and he has a higher ceiling, but he's still behind Eddie Nketiah.
Eddie's purple patch is gone.
Eddie's purple patch might be gone, but the reality is Eddie Nketiah has done stuff for Mikel Arteta, and he has more reliability with him. Balogun has to come in and earn that. We haven't seen it yet. It could be a situation where we sell Balogun to free up funds for more other things.
No. Look how well Martinelli now is playing with Trossard. He wasn't playing. People say Martin needs to get dropped when Eddie Nketiah was our number 9 because the link-up play on that left channel was off because Eddie would just stand in the box as a number 9. He wouldn't come to the left, link-up play with Martinelli, so Martinelli can go through the middle. Something that Trossard now is doing is, and especially with Jesus' way, if Martinelli was having them numbers, Jesus will come to there for a minute. Martinelli go through the middle. But with Eddie, he's a proper number 9, and I don't blame him. He's a traditional number 9, like Erling Haaland, where he's a fox in the box, and then that's it. But if we're trying to look at like players moving about, transitions, fluidity, you can't. I'm sorry, but Eddie is not the answer. But that's it. That's my answer.
So, Lee, you there, bro? No, he's not there. What do you call it? We'll wait until Lee gets back. But when it comes to Sal Lokonga, you know what? Lokonga's conversation, we already know Lokonga's out the door. Am I wrong?
You know what's gonna happen? Yeah, people are looking at him at Crystal Palace going, he's balling. Arteta got it. Nah, man, dusty player, man. Get rid.
That's a bit harsh.
Are people really trying to say keep Lokonga?
No, he might do well, lads. He might actually do well at Arsenal long term. Give him the full season alone at Crystal Palace.
We've seen this story before. Similar to Joe Willock, he's gonna be sold. That's the reality. Even if he does well.
Gallagher, look at him now, fam. Come on. Everyone goes out of Palace.
But look at that performance when they faced against Liverpool. He played really well. I haven't watched Palace that much.
Look at Conor Gallagher now.
The standard at once again, the standard at Crystal Palace is not to lose. The standard at Arsenal is to win. There's difference.
I know, but look. Do we really know what position? Is he in number 6 or is he in number 8?
It doesn't matter what position he thinks he is. In the position that we signed him to be, he's unable to do it.
I think we should give him one more chance.
One more chance. Do we have time to give people chances in the Champions League?
No, as in like one more chance, not sell him, but send him out and learn one more time.
If we're going to the Bernabeu, do you want Lokonga in the Bernabeu against Kroos and Modric?
No, obviously not. But I'm not saying keep him. I'm saying send him out and loan. Don't sell him yet. Because Chelsea have always been like amazing at keeping players just a bit long enough, where they just have that season where they get to that next level, and they either keep them in the team or they sell them for a lot. We can't just sell him now when his price tag now is a bit low. Keep him another full season in the Premier League for Crystal Palace or Brighton, and he has a full season where it's like, okay, he's good enough to be in the Premier League, but he's not good enough to be at Arsenal. So
you know what, though? The perception of Arsenal will be a lot better, and I think Lokonga's value will just increase because of that.
True, because we're winning, every single one of our players will be more valuable. Like Pepe, like Nuno Tavares, like all these guys. You
I
know
never
what?
want to see Pepe or Tavares back at Arsenal.
To
Tavares,
be fair, do you know what though? Tavares should left wing.
Well, I
Tavares,
don't want nothing to do with Tavares either. I agree.
this guy is a freestyle footballer. He does what he wants, plays where he wants. When I watch Marseille, when I watch Marseille, this guy does whatever he wants. So Arteta's gonna pull his hair out from going from Zinchenko to Tavares. No way he's coming back. There's no way Tavares is
the
coming
man
back.
scores against a red card 2 minutes later,
He does whatever he wants. And Pepe, yeah.
I've never seen it. The guy broke the friggin' thing. He got an 8 rating with a red card and a goal.
Yeah, it's just
Like,
funny,
what
bro.
the hell? Listen,
Yeah.
people in the chat, let me know. Do you guys, anyone in their right mind want to keep Nicolas, Pepe, or Tavares? I don't think so. But there is another conversation, uncomfortable conversation. People also don't forget to hit that like button, people, right now, as we are currently on 60 people in the chat. Let me know what you guys think. Kieran Tierney is the next conversation we're gonna have to have, and I'm just gonna say this: Kieran Tierney's gone, ladies and gentlemen. I love the guy. We all love the guy. But Kieran Tierney is going out the door. He is going out the door. It's not because he's a bad player. It's not because he doesn't have heart, desire, the intangibles, the leadership qualities. No, it's simply because when the ball is at his feet, he wants to get rid of it like a hot potato. He does not want to keep the ball. It's almost like he just wants to whip it every time he gets the ball. He's just trying to look for a cross. He can't keep the ball at his feet. And Mikel Arteta, the last person he wants as a player on their team is somebody who wants to get rid of the ball.
I feel so sorry for Kieran Tierney because there's how many Zinchenko's are there in the world? How many guys? Because Zinchenko's not left back. Come on, he's a midfielder. Like Tierney is an out and out fullback. So like if people trying to say that this guy Tierney is this, he's that. Bro, how are you expecting Tierney from going all his life from being a left back to a left-sided centre mid? Like, you can't blame him for the guy. He can't adapt. You can't turn him into a midfielder in the space of 6 months. Because last season, he was one of our best players when we played him left back. And now, because we've changed formations and now we play our left back in midfield, we expect Tierney to change the way he plays. So I feel so sorry for him. I think if he goes to Newcastle, goes to another top 6 team or top 8 team, you'll see how good he is because he's a goal scoring threat. He can whip the ball in. He's got engine, and we're gonna regret selling him in the summer. Like because if we don't get another left back that's good or better than Tierney, we're gonna regret it. I think we should keep hold on to him for as long as possible.
I would say don't sell him to anyone in the Premier League. Send him back to Scotland or send him.
We won't be able to get a good money for him then if we sell him to Scotland.
Do you know how bad this is? Even Gunnar Lee returned. He was like, blasphemy.
Do you know what? Yeah, it's so mad. Yeah, I literally had the maddest thing downstairs that I just had to run downstairs and put out. But you know what? I came back and like one of my favorite players that you guys are talking about selling. I don't know why. I don't know how this conversation came up, but
You gotta say to sell him. Not us.
we need to stop this conversation because Tierney, listen, only like 7, 8, 9 months ago, we were talking about him being Arsenal captain. So I don't know how we're thinking about selling him now. We're in the Champions League next season. We're going to need the backup. We're going to need the quality 110%. And I think he's a quality player, man. I think when you don't get the rhythm, you do lose a bit of stuff at times. And I think that's, I think the most important thing is we need to remember, right? Zinchenko has been so good. He's almost redefined the role of the fullback that we're seeing right now. He's taken it to another level. And just because he's doing something that is absolutely out of this world, it doesn't mean that we can't see, qualities in another player. So like the whole thing with Lokonga, right? I saw a little bit of people chatting it. Like I don't rate Lokonga at all. I don't think he's good enough, but he's at fault a lot because he looks really bad because the person that he's coming in for is Partey, who in truth is maybe the best or one of the best in his position in the world. So it's really difficult for him to, stamp his authority down on a game because he's coming in for someone who's better than him tenfold.
Yeah.
My whole case, guys, is the reality is Tomiyasu is the backup left back. Kieran Tierney is a player who wants to play football and he would leave Arsenal just to get first team football away from the club. He is also injury prone, as Omar Noor is saying in the comment section. And I think I should do a poll. Do you guys want to sell Kieran Tierney or do you want to keep him? Because in my opinion, there's no reason to keep him if he's not playing first choice or if he's not even second choice. Right now, Tomiyasu's second choice, he's third choice left back.
But you know what, there's a middle to this. And I don't think a lot of people are looking at it in this angle. Because, you know, every time Kieran Tierney has played, he's played the inverted row. And to me, I've seen a few things and I'm like, there's something cooking here. There's something brewing that a lot of people aren't seeing. Now, when you talk about hot potato with the football, I don't agree. Now, I do think Arteta sat him down and said, look, I need to redefine this role. We are going to play as an inverted left back. That's just the way we're moving forward. Now, you've got one of two options. You can either go or you can sit there and I can train you how to play this role. We're going to redefine your qualities because don't forget, this guy used to play left centre back in a 3. And he can do it. He has got the ability to play these kind of ways. But you know what it is, though? One thing we're forgetting, Zinchenko, it's like Messi, right? You just don't give them a role. The guy's playing right back at times. The guy's playing right wing at times. And I'm like, brother, you're my left back. Why are you at the right wing for? But anyways, he's the only guy who can have this free role. Now, when you bring Kieran Tierney in, you can do one of two things. You can give him that role. You can say to him, look, you've got free range. You do what Zinchenko's doing. Or I need you to keep the width now. I need you to play, and I need you to play as a fullback because the inverted role isn't working. So there are games where I actually get frustrated with Zinchenko because I'm like, where's the width in this team? We're playing too narrow, especially when you look at low blocks. You know, Kieran Tierney in that low block situation, man, the guy could unlock those low blocks. And that's what I want him for. I'm keeping him, fam. He's no way. He's a plan B left back.
People in the comment section, let me know what you think about Kieran Tierney. Would you sell him or would you keep him? Let me know in the comment section. Some people saying Kieran Tierney doesn't suit the play style. He'll be other people saying if he wants to leave, let him go. People talking about him being injury prone. People saying sell Tomiyasu. I think you're joking. Skills is a troublemaker. He's asking about Ainsley Maitland-Niles. Guys, can we all agree nobody here wants Ainsley Maitland-Niles back? Am I right?
Yeah.
You know
no way.
If he accepted being a right back, I would have kept him. But this egotistical maniac, I don't like him anymore.
Yeah.
He knows
better.
I wouldn't say he's an egotistical maniac. I would just say he has the wrong people around him. Some people, you need people sometimes in your life to just tell you, you know what, you can be great at this. Why are you trying to put yourself down? I don't think he has a good surround. I think he has yes men around him.
Yeah.
I don't know. Gunali, do you know anything about Ainsley Maitland-Niles, bro? This guy, bro, he's frustrating the life out of me. Personally, I feel like he surrounds himself with the wrong type of people, especially his partner. She's a messed up person. But yeah. It is.
And Maitland-Niles, he had the chance, he blew it. He was a great win back. Like, he should have been humble. Now, look at the players now. Look how many of these new Arsenal players they say, I don't care what the manager plays me. I just want to be on the pitch. But back then, Wenger times, Emery times, so for some reason, they had this kind of like attitude where they thought, like, I think because of Wenger, he gave him that like confidence. They thought, yeah, I can play anywhere I want. But this Arsenal team now, they're saying you're either playing here or you're not in the team. So you don't see any players now coming out and saying, I'm a out and out right back or I'm a central midfielder. All of these players, they say, I'm happy as soon as the manager puts me in the starting lineup, I'm happy. So Maitland-Niles, you had a chance. He could have been an amazing inside fullback because he's really composed on the ball. But for some reason, he thought he was the next big thing, as in like he thought he could be a next Steven Gerrard or a proper central midfielder. You're fullback.
I can't do it at Southampton, man.
You know what, guys? Enough about outgoings. Before we go any further, Gunali, do you have anybody we haven't mentioned? Because we mentioned so many players outgoing.
I think the most important one. Look, we know Pepe. He needs to definitely bounce. Rob Holding, please. And I think what out of all the other players you've mentioned, I wouldn't get rid of Tierney, but I really, really, really think that we need to consider the likes of. It's hard to say, but even someone like Reiss Nelson, I don't know what you guys think, but someone like Reiss Nelson, I just think that we're going to have so many players. And I think when you start to remember that we have the likes of ESR still in the squad that hasn't really, showed what he can do this season. I think Martinelli, Trossard, we have 2 strikers in the likes of Nketiah and Balogun, and they're definitely backups because obviously we know Jesus is going to play, and then Saka. I just don't know whether or not Reiss Nelson's going to be able to get the minutes. So I feel like he would be a good asset to sell. I think he would. So I feel like there are some players that we can get some money for, and I'm sure we're going to get into the incomings, man. And I'm interested.
Hey, you're already getting into the incomings. People, let's talk about incomings now. People in the chat, start mentioning names. First of all, I'm just going to get some of the random names out of the way. Guys, these are the names that are very unlikely to happen. These are names that we keep hearing about, but frustrate the life out of me because I don't think it's ever going to happen, right? These are expensive signings that I don't think are going to happen. Let's get the first one out of the way. Victor Osimhen. Guys, do you really believe we're going to get Osimhen? I'm going to start with you, Dawood, because you've been talking about Osimhen. I've been seeing you. Tell me, do you really believe we can get him, bro? Be honest.
Victor Osimhen. I don't know, man, because like I've been looking at this team. Is there a striker someone that we need now? Like striker now we're so blessed with having not amazing, but like quality strikers now with Eddie Nketiah, Trossard, Jesus, 3 strikers, Balogun to come back, and they really need to disrupt that and ruin like the chemistry that these players have because. You need minimum. You need 110 million pounds now with the amount of goals he's scoring, carrying the team, dashing out 110 million for a striker. That's like you don't really need. We don't really need like we should be prioritizing midfielders and a right winger. So for me, we shouldn't go nowhere near that. If Napoli said give us 60 million, I'll buy him for 60 million. But Napoli are very very hard team to negotiate with, especially the owner. So. 110 million, even 100 million. Nah, I wouldn't buy him now. No chance.
Okay. Anybody here believe we can actually get Osimhen?
I think we can get him, but will we get him? No.
Yeah.
I think if we win the league, I think we can get anybody, absolutely anyone.
Yeah, definitely.
But you know what it is though? I don't even want him. I want Kvaratskhelia. Bring me my man, the Georgian winger. Yeah. Bring me him. I don't want no Osimhen or Rafael.
Guy at Atlanta?
No, Napoli left winger.
Yeah, left winger. I can't say his name, man.
Yeah, he's young, right? How old is he?
Kvaratskhelia,
21, I think.
He's 21. This is guy. Oh my goodness.
He's a don, fam. He's a don.
I would actually trade Martinelli for him plus 20 million or 30 million. Or even 40 million.
That's going a bit too far now.
Kvaratskhelia.
You know what, right? Yeah. Do you know my thing with the whole trading players and you can get someone better than Martinelli, or we can get someone better than Ramsdale. But would I swap Ramsdale for anybody? No.
Yeah,
no. So, and I just feel like sometimes it's almost that kind of whole thing where you can get better. Like it's like the whole football manager thing. You can get someone better, but you're just gonna and you've just won the league, you've just won the Champions League, but you feel like I'm gonna get them because they've got better stats. For this team, Martinelli does what he needs to do. He does the job. He goes through his low moments, but he goes through his high moments. But I just feel like sometimes we have to figure out what we have and how can we make these players. How can we make these players better? How can we make a Balogun better? How can we make an Nketiah better? Because that is part of the journey. That is part of the story. And sometimes, yes, I might be like deluded to think so, but I just feel like we have some really, really good players. And my other thing I've got to say to you is he's only 21 years old. And I don't know how old you guys are, but at 21 years old, when normally all of us are leaving university, how many of 21 heroes do you know that are the best at anything in their field? Whether it's even a millionaire, they're not the best because they can make more money. They can still learn new and better things. So I just think we need to actually remember he's only 21. He's gonna get better. He's gonna become a terrorizing left winger, and we have a top level quality player on our hands. Now look, I wasn't impressed with his finish the other day, But that run that he had against Sporting, listen, there aren't many players in the world. I'm talking about the world currently that can do that. And he does that. He had the pace, he had the skill, he had the guile. The finish was poor, I'll give it to you. But there are so many positives to somebody like Martinelli, or even, I don't know, Ben White. We can get a better right back, 100%. But he is so good. He's a technical monster. He's a demon. And do I want to swap him for anybody? No, man, because I love Ben White. Listen,
basically, that would get out, fam. Get out.
No. And it's not about that. It's not about that, though. It's not. It's more about like sometimes it's just recognizing who we are, what we've got. And
because my point is buying them. I don't even want to swap it. I want to keep what we have and add to it. And that's why I'm saying Kvaratskhelia or Rafaelia. That's the depth we need. Champion.
I know, I know, but Kvaratskhelia, he's 21. He is like, this guy can play for Real Madrid, Barcelona, and he doesn't need adapting. This guy can play for any team, and he doesn't like. I don't know sure about you guys, but I watched a lot of Napoli, and this guy, I don't know what's about him, but this guy is going to be a Ballon d'Or winner. I'm actually being serious. He's going to be a Ballon d'Or winner in the next 5-6 years. That's how good he is. Bro, he's so dribbling wise. He is so good. Sometimes the thing that Martinelli, this is me picking. Like I'm picking at like thin straws. Like I'm very picky. But Martinelli, the only problem that I have with him is he looks down too much. When he's dribbling, he doesn't look up and he doesn't find the right pass. And with Kvaratskhelia,
Martinelli's a striker, bro. That's
with Kvaratskhelia, this guy.
That's my thing, David. Yeah, my thing is to you, and I ask you again: at 21 years old, can you tell me in any field, any walk of life, that a 21-year-old is the finished article in anything that they do?
No. But that's what I'm saying. I'm saying Kvaratskhelia is a finished article.
But he's not. I can guarantee he's not.
No. There are flaws.
There are flaws.
Can I just say one thing though? Can we admit 1 second that we have a very young core of players, and adding a Kvaratskhelia would be another young player? Do you think that they're going to be doing something like that, or will they be doing something more across the lines of getting a Declan Rice, Premier League proven experience?
Oh yeah, we're moving to that.
We already know we're going to do that, right? Yeah. Everyone already here. It's the boring topic that we've all discussed. He's pretty much already an Arsenal player at this point, right?
Yeah.
But then you can't say that. You know how many people are basically Arsenal players?
Yeah, and I think even the Declan Rice thing, right? Like that signing makes sense for Arsenal. Does he make sense really and truly? He doesn't make sense. So that's another thing.
Kvaratskhelia makes a lot of sense. But anyways, okay, we'll move on from that.
You know what else doesn't make sense? These comments. Harry Kane's never coming to Arsenal. That's the reality. Forget
and I don't want him either.
He's a loser.
You wouldn't want Harry Kane?
He's a loser.
Why do you want a loser, fam?
Oh, Harry Kane will take us to the next level.
Listen, let me tell you something, right? This is pissing me off here. Not you, David, but I'm saying in general. I don't like the whole idea that people say that Harry Kane, you put him in any new team and he takes them up a level. I've seen Harry Kane for England. I've seen Harry Kane in semi-finals, in finals, in quarterfinals, in big competitions, Fluffy's lines. Now let's go to the latest situation for England where he had the second penalty, and he fluffed his lines. What is one of Harry Kane's, if not Harry Kane's, best attribute? Is ball striking, and he fluffed his lines and he kicked that ball over the bar. It didn't get saved. He kicked it over the bar. There's a big difference. I don't believe that he would you put him in a Man City team and he takes them over the top. I just think that he's shown. There's a famous quote by Maya Angelou: "When someone shows you who they are, believe them." And he's shown me time and time again in the big moments, he cannot get a team over the line. So why must I believe that he's going to go to Man City and all of his goals and all of his form and everything will be replicated in that position, in that new team? For me, I'm so sorry, but Harry Kane, you're the biggest bum that I've ever seen. You're a big bum. And I don't think that people need to talk about this guy any more than what he's going to be spoken about.
Well, the guy ripped Harry Kane. He's finished. Harry Kane's done after that. Listen, anybody in the chat who backs Harry Kane, come out right now. Gunnerly put you guys in a spliff. Wallahi. He bodied Kane. Listen, that's getting clipped. No lie. Listen, before we go any further, there's other names also. McAllister. What are we saying? I keep hearing McAllister's name. I keep hearing McAllister.
He makes sense.
Yeah. What do you guys think? I like McAllister as well. You know why I like McAllister? Because it's almost like the Ramsey thing. There's two things in football that you can't replace: getting goals and speed. And that's why I like Martinelli and Saka. And that's why I like players like McAllister, because getting goals it's a trait, it's an art. And around Ramsey, he was that guy for Arsenal. He was that guy. And you think about Kevin De Bruyne, what makes him so special? Not only is his deliveries, but it's also him getting goals. And I think, someone like McAllister, he gets goals, man. And I like that from midfield. We're getting that with Odegaard. But do we trust Odegaard to do that next season? Get 10 goals? I'm not too sure.
No, but I don't view McAllister in the same mold as that. I would view him more of in the Xhaka role. And I would say if we get Declan Rice, he's more of a Partey role. But the reality is there's somebody else that we could also get, Milinković-Savić, who's better suited to that also. So there's so many different names that are floating about.
I'll be honest, the reason why I'm more McAllister than I am Savić is because the one thing Arteta likes is technically gifted, tidy players.
Yeah.
And especially in that midfield, I think what he's done with Granit Xhaka is moving forward because of the liabilities he has when he's defending and his red card moments, his rash moments, etc., to nullify that. But if you bring a McAllister into that Granit Xhaka, now the redefined Granit Xhaka role, that's 10, 11, 12 goals from midfield, easy. And let's just say, right, of course it's difficult to predict, but if we then add like Odegaard's 11 goals, you can get a goal-scoring Man City-esque type midfield where they're getting goals from midfield, they're getting goals from their attack, and that's what's going to be the key. And also what you've got to understand is McAllister's a very good free kick taker, but also when you've got those low block situations, man's got a long shot on him. And that's what's going to be key to unlocking that. And you know what it does? It draws centre-backs, because when they put that low block in, and they're like, yeah, but McAllister can bang one from 30 yards, we might need to close him down. Guess what happened? That low block is no longer a low block, and the opportunities open up. And that's what we need. We need players who are a threat, who are like, centre-backs are looking at it and going, yeah, that guy's a problem. We need to move our shape to stop that.
What do you guys think with the whole, look, so Rice is someone who we've been linked to quite heavily. And look, I'm not that high up on him. It's going to be interesting to know what you guys think. I'm not that high up on someone like Rice. And I think the issue that I've got with Rice is the same thing I have with Sancho. It's the same thing I have got with all the other English players, is that the English bias, it drives me crazy. I feel like someone like Rice, he is good. I don't want to discredit this guy as a player, but there are so many other players that can do what he does in that box-to-box role. And I think you can get them for half the price. That's the first thing. The second thing I think about Rice is the English bias. It just drives me crazy, man. I just feel like these players are so overrated. And when they come to Arsenal and he doesn't do what was doing at West Ham, all we're going to be thinking about is, he didn't do this, he didn't do that. And it does annoy me a little bit, but I do think that Rice is really good because he can play two positions. So I don't know what you guys think.
Declan Rice is 24 years old, and in that DM role, he can play that quite well. But the thing is, a lot of people don't forget he was originally a center back, so defensively he's astute. His ability to play in the midfield is because he's such a good passer. He's been able to get into the midfield and is able to get forward and score. This guy is definition of box-to-box midfielder. He allows us to have the flexibility to change from a 3-man midfield to a 2-man midfield when we want, and go to a 3 at the back with him in it. So it's really the fluidity in our defense and our attack will be so much more smooth, similar to how we have Thomas Partey, but it will be a little bit different. Thomas Partey sometimes gets other people to help him out by dropping deeper and letting them progress the ball as he sits sometimes. I'm not saying he's not a good passer. He's a really good passer. But the way that we play with Declan Rice, I think it would just be a little bit easier to now have those two options in the team than what we currently would be looking at. If you go tell me another midfielder we're linked to that would suit that system, because realistically, if we get Caicedo, I'm not really viewing him as a Xhaka alternative and a Partey alternative. The flexibility allows us to have that Champions League squad that we need, where if we go for Caicedo, we have a like-for-like replacement, but not really can play in many different positions, where Mikel Arteta knows he loves his Swiss Army knives, and that's why we're signing him. Think about it. Elneny is being replaced by Declan Rice. That's what it is, basically.
Yeah. The thing that I really like about Declan Rice is, the way he can play multiple positions. But like when us Arsenal fans, when we saw Xhaka playing that left-sided centre mid, getting into the box, we thought he's not good enough to do that. But I think Declan Rice, this is my personal opinion, but I think he might play Declan Rice as a number 8 because his ball carrying is very good. I really like his ball. Xhaka's ball carrying his mobility is terrible. We saw when he played with Jorginho and Fabio Vieira in the Europa League against Sporting, we look so weak in midfield. So when we have Partey and we've got Odegaard, Xhaka, he's able to look good with guys that have got legs around him. But with Declan Rice, if we had Declan Rice, Partey and Odegaard, and the way he's ball carrying Declan Rice, and he's got a really good ball striking ability, and he can get in the box, I think Arteta will be able to unlock a lot more attributes that his heading ability. We still haven't seen his heading ability. We still hasn't seen his much ball strike because he plays in a West Ham team where he's playing in a 2 midfield with Souček, and he has to do a lot of work off the ball, and we don't see much of him on the ball. But if he plays that 8 position with Partey, with Odegaard, we've got pace, we've got power, we've got technical ability. Like, people say that Arteta left Man City to copy the way Man City play, but with that midfield 3 is completely opposite to what Man City play. Man City they've got Rodri, but the 2 number 8s, you don't get a 6'4" or 6'3" number 8 playing ahead of Rodri, or Man City do. But if we've got 2 guys over 6'2", I think this is like a mixture between Liverpool and Man City. That's what I love about Arteta.
Yeah.
Is this wild or am I tripping?
It's wild, man. It's wild.
No chance.
Take it off the screen, man. Take it off the screen.
I like it.
I think the Trossard Santi Cazorla regen stuff got to people's head.
Yeah.
What I will say though, like, if we did have, I agree with David. If we did have the likes of Rice and we had the likes of Partey in that midfield, I genuinely feel like that is going to be, one of the safest votes that you will ever see, man. That pivot, or if that possible pivot, even, because I think the thing that I like about Rice over someone like Xhaka is his mobility. He's just that bit more mobile and agile, and with agility, it's about changing direction. And I think the most important thing for me is Xhaka going to be able to do what he's done this season next season? And I don't know if he's going to be able to do it. And he's had a great season this season. He had dropped up a little bit in terms of the attacking sense over the last couple of weeks, but he is such a good player defensively for Arsenal. And you see when he doesn't play, you miss that sort of defensive stability. So yeah, for me, look, like I kind of do look at the whole Rice thing and think, look, it makes sense. It does make sense. And look, we can take him away from a rival. He doesn't go Chelsea. He doesn't go Liverpool. We take him and he upgrades to what we've got currently. But I don't know whether or not he's worth the money. That's the only thing. Because listen, I would have loved. I said this from January. If we got Caicedo, I would be title done.
Yeah.
If we got him in January, title done. I would have been so calm, because I think someone like Caicedo is an absolute needle mover. He's a game changer. He's an absolute game changer. So yeah, it's a little bit annoying that we're not going to get him. I know we're not going to get him. He's not going to come to us. I don't think Brighton are going to work with us moving forward. So yeah, we have to just get their players before they get them, basically.
Okay, and guys, talking about money, let's actually talk about something that's really near and dear to all our hearts. We all want to go to Arsenal games. Every single one of us here would love to go to as many Arsenal games as possible, but it's nearly impossible at this moment in time with the way resellers are buying tickets, flipping them. And I just want to take a moment and actually show you guys how bad things have gotten at this moment in time. It's so bad that I literally had to do a whole video and explain it to everyone, because they are taking tickets, reselling them for 500, 600 a pop. And it's like the tickets for the Wolves game, for the last game of the season, do you know how much it's going for at this moment in time? There's season ticket holders already selling their tickets up front for the Wolves game for near £5,000.
It's going to be a big moment, man.
I am telling you, the stuff that's happening at this moment in time is disgusting. I'm just going to play this video. Check it out. Arsenal have to do something about this because fans are getting ripped off and scammed. It's almost becoming impossible to get Arsenal tickets at this point. With the team in the Premier League title race and having some of the most exciting players in the league at this moment in time, Arsenal tickets are becoming hot commodities. But it's not because the tickets are expensive. The tickets are not that expensive if you actually buy it from the Arsenal website. But it's extremely difficult to get it on the Arsenal website at these moments in times. You have to wait in extremely long lines, sometimes 10 minutes or even 30 minutes at times. And when you get to the end of the line, you only have like 10 minutes to purchase the ticket or else your ticket's gone. The tickets can range from between 45 to 90 pounds at times. But once the resellers get a hold of them, they immediately sell them for extremely high prices. I myself was trying to find tickets to go to the Crystal Palace game this weekend. The cheapest I could find was like 200 from resellers. And face value is around 45 to 90 pounds. That's why I said...
I never ever said I would never.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Listen, I got told.
Somebody, I would have to.
Yeah.
I don't know if Gunnar is talking to me. Yo, Gunnar, you talking to me or are you talking to yourself?
Oh.
Okay, I just put him on mute. Let me know when you're done. But yo, when it comes to the wholesales and the resale tickets, to everyone watching, regular ticket prices cost between £45 to £90. Yeah. If you're going to Chelsea at home, you're paying £83 for that ticket on the Arsenal website. Wow. Max £83. Wholesalers are selling that same ticket for £230. Now, this is a problem on many levels because red members are getting screwed. People who are genuine fans that want to go to games are getting screwed. And people who are buying the tickets at those ridiculous prices are also part of the problem because they're now giving these guys an excuse to flip these tickets. If there's not a market of people who are willing to buy the tickets for ridiculous prices, they wouldn't be sold for ridiculous prices. So you're also part of the problem. I blame the people who are buying these tickets for not intending to actually buy to go to the games, and Arsenal have to find a way to limit the tickets to one person per person, but they keep finding ways. I have 2 memberships. Guess what? I haven't been able to find one game where me and my wife can sit next to each other this season.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, also, I mean, I won't be surprised. Last game of the season, the only people that can be able to afford the last game of the season is just like Saudi guys, where it's like £5,000 a ticket. Who's got £5,000 to go to the last game of the season? And it's like, it's even now where. Like, I'm just trying to go to one home game, and it's people are selling for £200, £250 minimum for one game, and it's like, yeah, it's I don't know, man. It's like these people, it's turned into a business now. Especially next season, if we do better next season, Champions League tickets it's going to be impossible to get Champions League tickets next season.
It's not even knocking people's hustle. It's just strictly saying, how is this fair for the fans that actually want to go to the games? Literally, you go to a lot of games.
Well, what I will say is like it's a hard one because it's obviously a business now for some people. But I think Arsenal are trying to do their best to stop the touts and stuff like that. But listen, man, I think everybody that is going to an Arsenal game right now, they are Arsenal fans. So it's not like they're not Arsenal fans. So it's a hard one. But for me, I just look at it and I say, I don't know. Like I'm having to pay the same. Like sometimes I pay face value. Sometimes I've paid a bit more. The North London derby, I went to that. I paid quite a bit more. So what I don't sometimes do. So if I go to the North London derby, I went to Liverpool home game. I will know that I'm not going to go to no more games for a while. So I'll pick for that month. I'll pay what I would pay if I was going to go to like 3 games in the month. So yeah, that's what I'm trying to do right now. So. I guess, I'm fortunate that, I mean, not to say that some people aren't, but I'm fortunate that I can pay a bit more and I'm not that bothered. But yeah, for the young fan who hasn't got as much money, it is harsh, it is difficult, but it's just, you're going to have to, you just got to pick and choose your 1 or 2 games for the season. But yeah, it's not nice. It's not nice because...
I just want to warn people also. There's a lot of scammers. So be careful of these kind of people who are saying they got tickets. And then when you ask them how much and how many tickets they have, they just start saying some shady stuff like, okay, £25, £50 and collect or transfer you money. Let's be honest. No one's actually selling tickets for those prices. Those are just someone just trying to scam you. They're just trying to get your money. And if anybody's actually trying to sell you a ticket, it has to be either a red membership transfer and something that you know. Don't go out of your way and just trust anybody and give them your money because you're going to get scammed. And a lot of people are getting scammed on a daily basis over Arsenal tickets. I know people who've given up hundreds of dollars just to go to one game, only to find out that they never got their ticket. They gave the person their money, and that person ran away with the money, and they can't do nothing with it. And especially if it's a Twitter account that was made this year and has no followers and barely tweets, and is just trying to sell you a ticket, don't trust them. Honestly, if you're gonna get a ticket, try to get it from a reliable source. Try to get it from the Arsenal website, and if you can't find it from either a reliable source or the Arsenal website itself, try to get it through people you know. Don't go out of your way and go on Twitter and just try to find some random person with an Arsenal player emoji on their ticket on the thing, because that's where you get scammed, and that's where a lot of people lose their money, man. That's the reality. I've lost money like this. I've lost like a couple hundred. I tried to get a ticket for me and my wife. It happened to me. It happens to everyone. But let's just try to avoid those situations.
Yeah, I was going to say another problem that we have, because I live up north, so I live 3.5 hours away from London, and it's like taking the train. It's going to cost me £100 there and back. That's already gone transport. Plus, if you have paid for ticket, and then so I'm not going to drive to London because it's like driving to London is going to be expensive already and finding parking and everything. So if I take the train and then paying for the ticket, and then I'm ended up spending £400, £500 for one day, and it's like for some people they can financially do that, but for others it's like and it's very
it's not cool. It's not cool. And as I said, look, I'm lucky. I live down not too far from the Emirates, so I can I don't have those kind of worries and annoyances, and I'm lucky that I've got people that I know that can sell me tickets for fair price. Like, I mean, I could have gone to the Sporting Lisbon game for like £50, but it's not always that easy for some people. So I would say, look, just really try and do your research, man. Know if this person's the right person that's selling you the ticket. I think I even tweeted earlier on to a gal, Connor. I know he's someone who can get you tickets. They are sometimes a little bit more expensive, but you know that he's legit. Also try FanPass online. They're another site that they sell tickets online.
Did you pay $200 for a ticket?
Well, some games I have, some games I have. I've paid £200. So as I said, for the North London derby, I paid a bit of money for that. Liverpool game, I paid a bit of money for that. But the higher tier games, I have. But the regular schmegglers, like I went to Fulham at home and I paid like £50 for that, £55.
Wow.
There was another game that I went to and I paid like £90. So listen, like as I said, for me, like I'm lucky that I can do that. But if I couldn't do it, obviously I wouldn't. So, but I know I'm paying more than what I should. So.
Runner Souls, did you have anything else to say before we close out the segment? Because I'm going to clip this up for everyone. And make sure you do hit that like and subscribe button, people, if you're watching this on the playback, because this is very important information for every Arsenal fan out there. I know there's a lot of people who want to go watch games. The best way to get tickets is to have a red membership, wait in the queue, and try to get a ticket there. That is honestly the best way to get it. Besides that, I would take the advice of my guy here, Gunnar Lee, and what he just said. What was the website again, just for people who might have missed it?
So FanPass is a site that they sell tickets, and like they're legit. Like I bought a ticket off of there. I think it was, I can't remember what game, but I definitely bought a ticket off of there. And also, as I said, Connor on Twitter, I don't really do the whole plugin thing, but he's legit, man. He's legit. I think his at is Connor. I'll try and find it. But Connor's another one. But fanpass.com is for sure the one that I've been using. And so it is Connor. It's Con Harrison. Sorry, Con Harrison. But his at is Con Marble Halls. And he's legit, man. He's legit.
Yeah, because I'm looking at FanPass right now, and it's not too expensive. It's like £130, where it's like I've been looking everywhere, and his minimum has been like £250.
Yeah. Like FanPass are good. Like FanPass are reasonable. Most of the tickets that they will sell that you can get for a reasonable price that'll be right at the top. But honestly, I've sat there and when you go to the Emirates, man, it's just so easy, man. It's so
This is legit.
Yeah, legit. Yeah.
This is good. Because honestly, maybe I'm going to advise more.
You see this site? You see that site, right? So you can see some of them are you should try and go for the ones where it's like instant seller, because those you get the ticket pretty much straight away. Like that's like and I think it's called trusted seller. Some of them you'll see that it's got like trusted seller on it, and that's 100% legit.
Okay. This is good for people like tourists and people who are just visiting for one games. But yeah, man, good. Big up to you guys. You know what, Gunnar Souls, we're just gonna go straight into the Sporting game if you didn't have anything to say on the tickets.
Yeah, we can do that.
All right, everyone, big up for that. Make sure you do check out the video and hit that like button. And if you want to check out the full video, make sure you do check it out. I'm just going to clip that up for people who want to see. There's a lot of people who don't know what to do and where to find Arsenal tickets. But guys, let's be honest. The game against Sporting, I'm just gonna show you guys my screen. I really do think we're gonna rotate the team once again. Gabriel Martinelli is gonna start. I think it's gonna be a situation where Rob Holding plays next to him. I think it's a situation where we go with the team pretty similar to what we would do in a regular Europa League game, where we go with Matt Turner. What do you guys think? Do you guys agree with me? Matt Turner. You're gonna have Tomiyasu, probably Ben White, since Zinchenko started last game. And then we just rotate the whole team. You're gonna have Fabio Vieira, probably. You're gonna have Xhaka or Odegaard, one of them, and then you're gonna have Jorginho in the midfield. And then front three, I really do believe he's gonna go with the same front three from the last game. He's gonna probably play Saka, Martinelli, and Trossard.
Yeah.
What do you guys say?
You know what? I actually wouldn't be too surprised if there weren't as many subs or so many changes. Sorry, I actually think that this game is quite important for Arteta, and I think he's going to try and he's going to try and get the game done. And listen, Sporting have got some threats. They have got some threats. So I don't know if he's going to really trust even the keeper to be changed. I don't know. It's just a hunch. But I'm not too sure if he will.
No, I do think the keeper's a guaranteed change. I don't, even against Man City, he didn't put Ramsdale in. So that one I do think, and also you got to think this is 2 home games, so we're playing at home against Sporting, but we're also playing home against Palace. So I don't know how many rotations he'll make, but I do see it being like a Trossard coming in instead, maybe giving Martinelli a rest and bringing Reiss in. But I don't see Saka being dropped for this one. Or rotated for this one.
He doesn't drop Saka no matter what. Let's be honest. Yeah. Jorginho starts 100%. That's a fact.
Yeah.
Fabio Vieira.
Tomiyasu Tierney playing.
What?
I think you'll see Smith Rowe back in. So Smith Rowe.
I hope so. You know.
Starting?
Yeah, Smith Rowe because he still needs that match fitness.
Where will he start?
I'll play him on the left wing. Smith Rowe.
Imagine that Smith
I think Tierney would start as well.
Yeah.
Tierney.
We need Tierney because Tierney and Smith Rowe had a very good partnership last season on that left side. It's not something like, and we don't have to really play exactly the way we're playing every single match where we've got, and there's a left back going central midfield.
It's going to be Trossard, ESR, and Saka.
I'd probably, yeah. That'd be good. Yeah.
Okay. And then what about so midfield? Is it Jorginho, Xhaka, and who? Odegaard or Fabio Vieira?
Fabio Vieira. I play Fabio Vieira alongside Xhaka and Jorginho.
I said for me, look, I can see why you're saying it. I just don't think that Arteta will make those subs. I don't think he'll make those changes. I really don't. I think he's gonna go serious in this. But yeah.
I do think Jesus will get 45 minutes. I think there'll be a halftime substitution and brings him on for a full half.
Okay, so this is the team that we've gone with so far. I'm not going to lie to you. I still think Martinelli starts. I don't see a way where Martinelli's on the bench in this game.
Yeah, but then ESR drops into midfield for Xhaka. I see that happening.
I don't think he's going to make that many changes in the midfield. This midfield hasn't been tested this season in one of our most important games. It's a knockout game. Don't forget that.
I just see ESR needs to start. No, but I don't see Ben White starting personally.
Yeah.
You don't see Ben White starting.
I think he's going to go Tomiyasu Tierney,
Yeah, Tomiyasu and Tierney, yeah. If you can't trust Tomiyasu and Tierney against Sporting, at home especially.
They both need to go in it.
Yeah, then it's like, if you can't trust them now, then when are you going to trust them?
But remember, this is a knockout game though. Like we can't treat this. We can't treat this like the Carabao Cup. We have to treat this like a Premier League game because it is. It is.
I hear that. But I still think there's an element. Don't forget, we've got Palace to play as well, which isn't an easy game.
Yeah, but remember, like, I think the most important thing that you guys have to remember is Arteta said these top players like Salah's and Mane, they're going to be playing 60, 70 games, and they have to get used to this. So next season, we can't be crying about Saka playing game in, game out. We can't be crying about Ben White playing game in, game out. We can't be crying about Saliba play because they're going to be playing.
But I still don't agree Ramsey will start. That's the only one I don't agree. I think everything else could stay the same, but I do think he'll be Tierney.
Would I be surprised if it was the same front three as Fulham? No. Would I be surprised if Saliba and Gabriel played? No. Would I be surprised if Tierney came in? No. To be fair, I could see that happening. But would I be surprised?
I think Zinchenko may end up playing this game, you know.
Can I show you guys my team? This is my team. I'm not going to lie to you. I think Odegaard just came back from whatever it was, an illness. So he's not going to start. I think it's going to be a midfield of it's going to be a midfield of Xhaka, Jorginho, and Fabio Vieira. The reason why Tomiyasu starts to give us that extra little bit of solidity when you have these two in front of him to help Gabriel, because Gabriel is getting a lot of pressure from Sporting in the last game. Kavor was getting a lot of pressure from Sporting in the last game, and he was isolated by himself. Rob Holding is going to have Ben White next to him, because let's be honest, if we play Kieran Tierney in this game, I would be surprised, because he hasn't really gotten too much run, and Tomiyasu has been majority of the time the backup left back. Now, the safest bet is the front three that started against Fulham, but another option would be Jesus gets his first start in this crucial game, which is throwing him in the deep end. Yeah, throwing him in the deep end. And then the reason why I've gone with Fabio Vieira, Jorginho, Xhaka, I've already told you guys, Xhaka is pretty much like the mainstay who always gets in the team. And then Jorginho is going to be the backup for Partey. And in the case that we're up, we can just sub off Jorginho for Partey to close out the game. And I don't see Odegaard coming on unless it's a desperate Hail Mary situation.
Bro, you know it's mad. You know how long it's been since we can actually agree on a starting 11?
But like, do you know what? Like, I think even it's weird. Arteta does this weird thing where even if we're winning 2-0, he will bring on the first teamers. Like he does it all the time. So I think it wouldn't even surprise me if, let's say that we're winning 2-0, he will bring Saka on like for the last 15 minutes. It wouldn't surprise me if he brings on Partey for the last 15 minutes. He brings on Saliba. Like these things, Zinchenko, it doesn't surprise me, because he just always wants to get like these guys out on there on the pitch, and for whatever his reason, he does it.
All right, What about you, Dawood?
For me, like, we can't go too strong in case one of our main players gets injured. For me, Trossard, he came back from a groin injury, starting another game. I think we should give Gabriel Jesus 60 minutes, see how he does, and then take him off after 60th minute. Xhaka needs to play because Vieira, the midfield 3, 100% agree. Tomiyasu needs to go right back, because Tierney, come on, if you're not going to play Tierney now, we're never going to play him, because we don't trust him in the Premier League. And then you're telling me that you don't trust him in the Europa League as well. So we're going to have to play Kieran Tierney.
And you know what? Let's just wrap it up there, guys. Let me know your score predictions. I'm going to be there for the Sporting game. I think it's going to be a situation where we win, and I think it's going to be a convincing win. I'm going to go with 3-1. What are you guys saying?
2-0.
I'm saying 4-0, Arsenal.
Smash them. I love that. What about you, Marcos?
I've got to give the highest scoreline. So 6-0. Thank you, Dawood. You ruined it for me.
Big up everyone in the comment section. Hopefully we see Gabriel Jesus play and give Saka some time off. That would be nice. Big up to everyone in the chat. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the stream. This has been a great stream. Gunnar Lee, big up to you. Dawood, Gunnar Souls, have yourselves a wonderful day. We're out of here, people.